Hello, and welcome to what I hope is the first of many ancillary type content you can expect from us here at Lanterns TV Talk. This is Will. Kyle may be doing something of his own here, but I saw the Superman trailer this past week, and I thought, this would be some good stuff to kind of review. So I'm going to try to do my first ever video review. I'm going to play it through. I may do a little bit of speaking over it, but for the most part, I'm going to let it play through once, and then we'll go and find certain scenes I like, etc., etc. So please check us out, lanternstvtalk.com, or even check out our podcast.lanternstvtalk.com. And if you want to keep the conversation going, discord.lanternstvtalk.com also works. So without further ado, let's get into the Superman trailer. So here it comes.
Are you being serious right now?
Yeah.
You'd let me interview you as Superman.
Sure.
I love this part.
Ready?
Let's do it, Cronkite.
Superman.
Miss Lane.
It takes a
Recently, you've
Superman
come under
movie
a lot of
and
fire for
turns
what
it
some
It's a
might.
lot of
It's a lot.
I like that they fixed that he blinks when it hits
Today,
him.
the Secretary of Defense said he was going to look into your actions. That's funny.
My actions? I stopped a war.
Maybe.
Not maybe. I did.
In effect, you illegally entered a country.
This is how you're gonna be?
I'm not the one being interviewed, Superman. Did you
This is
consult with
good.
the president?
No.
You seemingly acting as a representative of
I
the
wasn't
United States will
representing
cause
anybody
more
except for me.
problems around the world.
And doing good.
I love that
I
shot.
would question myself in the same situation and consider the consequences.
People were going to die.
And then John Williams.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Nice. I love Crypto.
Your choices. Your actions. That's what makes you who you are.
A different type of Jonathan.
Superman. He's not a man. He's an it. He's somehow become the focal point of the entire world's conversation.
Green Lantern, there we
I
go.
will not accept that.
I cleaned your boots. I'll go get them for you.
I love that. The power ring. Bravo, man.
You have a dog?
Okay, so let's get into this. Let's get into this now. We're going to kind of pick and choose. We're going to go through. I'm not going to have, I don't have things ironed out or anything. So we're just going to do this as we do it. So this first part, let's talk about this. It's obvious to me that this is 100% a send-up of 78 Superman, the interview between Lois and Superman. And they are definitely remnants of their time. In the 70s, Lois had no idea who Superman was in the comics, which always kind of rankled some people. But in any event, in the 90s, Lois found out, and it's kind of been a part of their characterization ever since that Lois knows who he is. So this allows them to kind of do the interview with Superman, and yet it's obviously a moment between Lois and Clark, but it's a moment between Lois and Clark and Superman in the same room. And you see so many dynamics and dimensions of Superman here that I wanted to see in Man of Steel that I did not. This is not a slam on Henry Cavill by any stretch. It's a slam on Zack Snyder, but it's not a slam on Henry Cavill. Cavill was really a probably could have been a fantastic Superman if they would allowed him to be this. This is an emotional Superman. This is a happy Superman. This is a boy from the Midwest just trying to do good. I loved this part. The whole interview here, where it starts off kind of joking,
Recently, you've come
and then
under
Lois
a lot
becomes
of fire
Lois.
for what some
It's a
might.
lot of
It's a lot.
Okay, so right here, a change they made from the first teaser. When he gets hit in the head with the can, you can go check it out. They had him blink his eyes, and that's the actor, David Cornswin, can't help it. In this version, they fixed the eye hit. Like, he's just like, it doesn't even register that he got hit with a can. Again, solid.
Today, the Secretary of Defense said he.
Okay, so we got more of the interview going on here. Okay, and you could start seeing Clark getting more and more annoyed. Lots of
Maybe.
good action scenes.
Not maybe. I did.
In effect, you illegally entered a country.
This is how you're gonna be?
Now, this seems like they took it a little out of context, this part, but in any event, you can see where he's feeling attacked by the woman he loves for something that he did that should be obvious to somebody with
Not
his
the
level
one
of
being
power.
interviewed, Superman.
And Lois is a journalist. She's not just Superman's screaming Mimi girlfriend. She's a journalist. She's 100% taking this opportunity to interview Superman. And as somebody who read the comics back in the day, and even occasionally now, I love the play between these two because a lot of the rivalry that they had, especially when John Byrne rebooted Superman in 85, that, Clark would get all these interviews with Superman, and it used to drive Lois crazy. And so some of this kind of has that feel to it, the back and forth. But again, I loved it.
Did you?
Okay, let's talk about Nicholas Hoult. First off, I was very, very. I'm reluctant with Luthers. I think we've seen Luthor done so many times. Gene Hackman in the beginning in '78. I mean, he did the mustache twirly, evil, genius, maniacal kind of Luthor, to be followed with Rosenbaum in Smallville in the early 2000s. Yes, I am skipping the Luthor from Lois and Clark and the Luthor from Superboy because just no. Okay, but you see Rosenbaum's Luthor in Smallville. This, and then obviously Man of Steel. Did they? Yeah. Well, I should say Batman v Superman. Thank God it's not Jesse Eisenberg. Don't get me wrong. I still would love to see Bryan Cranston play Luthor one day. I think he's a perfect Luthor. But Holt might win me over on that because this seems like the best of all the previous ones. He's got kind of the arrogance of the Hackman and Rosenbaum, but also Rosenbaum's youthful exuberance to be also played with the Luthor that came about from the 80s where they made him into a titan of industry. This seems like he's going that route. He's going to be the titan of industry Luthor, not just the criminal mastermind of our age. And Holt is playing this perfectly. Now, I had no doubt he would in that regards. I saw The Great. I saw the X-Men movies. He's solid. And I really, when I heard he was cast, I was like, okay, let's see how this goes. And yeah,
Assault with the president.
I buy it.
No.
You seemingly acting as a representative of
I
the
wasn't
United States.
representing
will cause
anybody
war.
except for me.
I love that he's getting mad at Lois.
and doing good.
This is one of the awesomest shots in the
I
movie.
question myself in the same situation and consider the consequences.
People were going to die.
And that right there, people were going to die. That is 100%.
Myself in the same situation
Let's hear it
and
again.
Consider the consequences.
People were going to die.
That is Superman. That is what I want out of my Superman. I don't want Kevin Costner holding his hand up and going, no, and letting him die. Like, Superman in the nutshell, that is what he's about. And when you don't do that, when you make Superman capable of killing Zod, even, yeah, okay, it might have been a last resort. I've had this argument many times. When you make, Superman let his dad die, and yet you have to juxtapose that with the 78 Superman, which is one of the most powerful scenes in the movie, is when he's standing over his father's grave and he's looking down going, all these things I could do, all these powers, and I couldn't even save him. That is Superman. And so him saying these people were going to die, that's his justification for anything. That to him trumps absolutely everything. Was somebody going to die? I did what I had to do. End of story. That is what I want in a Superman movie. So 100% already, the tone feels good. And here's the thing. Superman, as you can see here, he's kind of smiles. He's kind of up. You know, like he's enjoying being Superman. They didn't let Cavill enjoy anything. Ever. So this is a Superman who has light and hope. And then I don't think we can not talk about, you know, the score. Like it or not, and I know there are filmmakers out there that don't, like it or not, that score, that John Williams fanfare, is his best work. And I will die on that hill, by the way. Superman's soundtrack is the best John Williams, and I'm a Star Wars nut, but it is the best soundtrack John Williams has ever written. I have listened to it alone, and it brings back every part of these movies. Just that simple trumpet fanfare. Dun, 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 dun. That's, okay, I'm watching a Superman movie. It is 100% intrinsically tied to it. One of the mistakes Snyder made was not incorporating that until I think he did it in Justice League. But this 100%, I am so happy it's here. No, it isn't exact. It isn't orchestral. They got another guy to kind of rearrange it. I'm all for it. But I want that score, and I don't know anyone who likes Superman who doesn't want that score. And if you are someone, please hit like, subscribe, and tell me why in the comments. Do you like that? Like and subscribe. I feel all like Gen Z. Okay, let's keep going here. All right, so. And again, by the way, let's talk about that. Watch the graphic, okay? The graphic here. Go watch Superman the movie. Go watch the Superman the movie from 1978. That graphic that they did of James Gunn. Hold on, we'll do it.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
That graphic, 100%, is from Superman the movie. So it's obvious to me now, James Gunn learned from previous mistakes. He's like, look, I don't want to make Superman. Superman Returns, the biggest mistake they made was Bryan Singer, well, besides Bryan Singer, garbage human, I'm just going to die on that hill, was they made it way too much a love letter to Superman under Donner. What Gunn is doing here is he's bringing back the things that work, the things that make us feel familiar, the things that we can wrap around us like a warm blanket. But I think he's going to tell a different story. That is the way to do this. Like he is, I mean, this, you know, the fact that the Fortress of Solitude is ice again, which it always was, but it used to be like a building that he would go into. This obviously feels somewhat like the Donner Fortress. But I love this fight scene. And I love Crypto. I love Crypto. I'm sorry. I get it. He's supposed to be a more white Great Danish type dog. The fact that he's a little foo-foo dog, sure.
Your actions.
I mean, I get it, but I love Crypto. Big fan. Oh, wait. And there we go. This is our first, I think. I have a feeling that we're going to find out that that's Guy Gardner in the background trying to do something. And he's hugging Lois here. And again, that has very much a Death of Superman. One of the biggest panels in that book, in the Superman 75 and 91, was where there's a lot of smoke and stuff, and Lois and Clark kiss just before he goes off to die at Doomsday's hand. No matter how you do it, every time I see Lois and Clark hug, it brings me back to that scene. It's one of the most poignant scenes in comics, and it works. It so works.
That's what makes you.
And let's talk about Jonathan and Martha. Okay, so it's tough. We've seen Jonathan and Martha in very many multimedia type ways. We saw them obviously played great by Glenn Ford in 78. That was Jonathan. I forget who Martha was. We saw them again in the Lois and Clark series. They did really great with those two. Like, they were kind of fantastically awesome. And then, again, you know, Lois and Clark, not Lois and Clark, but, and the wind closed my door. Lois and Clark, they were fantastic. And then Man of Steel, even, you know, Kevin Costner, and I think was his mother Sally Fee. I can't remember who his mother was in that movie. That's how bad that movie was for me. I saw it like 3 times. Oh, no. Oh, great. No, that was Diane Lane was his mother, I think. And she's, I love her. So, but, and then you've got, you know, they cast somebody else playing Martha in Returns. And, you know, in Smallville, you had Annette O'Toole and John Schneider, who probably is everybody's favorite. I actually liked it too. But they were very good-looking people for living down on the farm. Jonathan here, he looks like he's a farmer. This is what you want your farmer to look like. This is your farmer dad. You know, I kind of dig it. And if you go forward to when he's talking to whom I assume is Martha, because she's like, I got your boots ready. Okay, there's Martha. That's the farmer's wife, man. I'm all about it. So, yeah, like it just has a great feeling to it.
The entire world's conversation.
And then you've got the Justice League International, who is what I assume they are, actually. I assume that's the JLI version of them. You know, they're in battle or something. You've got, it looks like Mr. Terrific, Hawk Girl, or is she, it'll be Hawk Girl, not Hawk Woman. And
The entire world's conversation.
And Guy Gardner. So let's talk about that for a second, because this is a Green Lantern podcast. So
Will not
I think
accept that.
I cleaned your boots.
I just love this. And he's like, I'm going to go to work. Which feels very much like the end of Man of Steel. And that's what I wanted to get to, was right there. Guy using his ring. That construct, okay? First of all, there's been a lot of talk of how Nathan Fillion doesn't look the part, his hair isn't red, and the costume. Okay, yeah, the costume's a bit much. I get what they're going for. They wanted the JLI to be in uniform, and it's comic accurate in that at one point Maxwell Lord had them in uniforms. And Guy's uniform is so incredibly unique and awesome that, yeah, I want to see him in the green vest and the black under everything. But I can get by that. Looking at him, you know what? I think Fillion's going to play Guy Gardner like Captain Hammer from Dr. Horrible's Sing-Along blog. If you have not seen it, go find it. I think you're going to see his characterization of Guy Gardner very much the same way. But let's talk about this construct. Okay, that construct was kind of cool. Like, he's not looking at it. He's not just pointing a fist. He can't be bothered. And that is a Green Lantern thing. They talked about it in a few of the books. Englehart definitely did in the late 80s. You know, that we don't always have to be looking where our ring is firing. Our ring is going to go where I tell it to, where I will it to, whether I'm looking at you or not. And this has that feeling, this brush off of like, I'm not dealing with you people. Okay, the selfie girl was kind of funny. But yes. And then, you know, the rest of the trailer is solid. Again, I love it. I'm sorry. I think this is going to be a funny moment in the theaters. 100%. It's a James Gunn kind of style where it's absurd. This woman is sitting there. The city is under attack, and she's sitting there taking selfies. Metamorpho. First live action, I believe, of Metamorpho. I don't think he was in Smallville. I love it. This is solid. This is great. Like, that's a James Gunn style character. I'm all for it. I can't wait to see what he does with it. And then Landing. And they talk about the dog. We'll do the teaser. Okay, so let's let's have ourselves a conversation on this. Okay. I'm excited. I can't wait to see this movie. I will go. My dad is actually in town. My dad took me the opening weekend of 1978 to see Superman in the theaters. I'm 4 years old and I remember this. Okay, so this was a moment. I'm not telling my dad I'm doing it, but I'm taking my dad to this. The opening day, I'm going to be like, Dad, guess what? We're going to the movies today because I want to see this and I want to see it with my dad. I'd like to see it with my wife too. I'll bring her along. But I definitely want to see this with my dad. It's a thing. Like, I haven't been this excited for a DC movie in some time. I love it. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what they do with it. It hits all the feels. I think Gunn's going to put his spin on it. And, I'm okay with that. I want to see it. And you know what? I could be disappointed, but my expectations are higher than they were for Man of Steel, way higher than they were for BVS, and incredibly, worlds higher than Justice League or Aquaman's sequel. I actually liked Wonder Woman. But what do you think? Okay? What do you think? Please put in the comments below. Let me know what you think of this. I, for one, can't wait. We're going to be recording in 2 weeks, I do believe. Me and Kyle, we're going to be doing episode 2 of Lanterns TV Talk, where we'll be talking about a bad DC movie, Green Lantern from 2008. I bet you can't wait to hear what I have to say about that. But for Kyle, this is Will. Again, check us out. LanternsTVTalk.com is the website. Podcast.LanternsTVTalk.com is where you can get our podcast. And Discord.LanternsTVTalk.com is where you can keep the conversation going with us. We're building up a little community in there. We got a few users now, but we could always use more. I'd love to see you. Hope this was cool. Have a good day and talk soon. Bye-bye now.